I blame a lot of the problems with modern Total War on Rome 2 and its legacy and the things that it started. And I've never really been more disappointed by a game than Rome 2. And part of that is that I wanted, as everyone did, to play as Rome and use Roman infantry with this advanced engine. 2013, so that's just over 7 years ago now. And we had modern tech, so this was 9 years ahead of Rome 1, and we should have been able to have Roman infantry combat unfold before us in a way it has never been able to before. You had people modding Medieval 2, trying to give it Roman infantry combat with its more heavy infantry oriented engine. There was an appetite for this, and Rome 2 had a lot of demand. That's all it had to do was tap into it by being good. There was a receptive audience, totally there to be tapped into and exploited, utilised. Lucrative opportunity that was completely passed up, spurned, wasted. And yeah, I remember trying to play as Rome. I had a campaign in Rome 2 that started as Rome not long after launch, and it just didn't grab me. It was not captivating, not immersive. It was really, really boring, and it wasn't just the bugs and the glitches and the problems that contributed to that. It was also the complete pointlessness and aimlessness of just the mechanics and the direction, the game design direction. So look at it, you've got... I'm going to just focus on the melee infantry for this, because that's all I'm really interested in right now. You have your Roman combined arms with auxiliaries and all that crap, but I just want to look at the infantry because it's almost as if there's as much melee infantry, sword and shield Roman infantry units as there are everything else put together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 2, 14 units. So this is what you're meant to believe here. You're meant to believe that a Total War game with Rome should give you 14 different types of infantry with swords to pick from. That's the proposition here. That's what we're being led to believe. Look at it all. Socii Hastati. Socii is that... What does that mean? That's lower class Hastati. Come on, give me the fucking encyclopedia. I can't even fucking look at the unit. Fuck you. So we've got Socii Hastati, then we've got regular Hastati. And there's barely any difference. I don't see any real difference here. Some stats go up, a few go down. No wait, yeah, charge bonus goes down, but all of the other stats go up. A marginal decrease in charge. So the Socii have a better charge at the expense of everything else. A marginally better charge. Alright. And then we've got the Principes. So that's the thing that I'm focusing on right now. The Hastati versus Principes. Or Principes, whatever the fuck. So it's a straight upgrade that costs nearly twice as much. So this is what Rome Total War did as well. Hastati to Principes is just an upgrade. Everything goes up, apart from weapon damage. So Hastati are obsolesced, unless you're talking about upkeep. But we can't see upkeep over here, because we're in a custom battle. So... And they cost nearly twice as much. And then you've got legionaries here with really high armour. 80 armour to the Hastati's 60. Principes have 75. And look at that. from legionaries to principes. Principes have slightly less armor, but slightly higher melee defense. Look at that. This is just pure redundancy here. You don't need this. You pay 20 more from 660 to 680, and what you get for that is you sell some of your armor for melee defense. It's bizarre. And then legionary cohorts. Look, it's another copy from Principes. So you copy paste over from the Principes to the legionary cohort, and then you have a bit of a zero sum trade of melee defense and armor. The armor goes up by a lot, and melee defense goes down to the same as legionaries. And then if you compare legionaries to legionary cohort has 10 more armor. Look at these slight tweaks, just slight tweaks. So they are just the same unit. In Rome 1, this would be the equivalent of having a unit of Hastati and upgrading their armor at a blacksmith. Look, that's what happens here. It's just the armor goes up and nothing else changes. Slightly more expensive, slightly more armor, and you're expected to believe that it's a different unit. It's just such a mess. What are you meant to take away from this? You're given these 14 units, and you're meant to process this somehow and have it contribute to meaningful gameplay, a good player experience. But it's just... See when the name of the unit is such a high proportion of the significance of the unit? Because that's the only thing that gives these units personality here, their names. Because that's all it is. The name changes and a couple of stats get tweaked slightly. That's the difference between legionary cohort and legionaries. Look at this shit. There's not even any ability stuff happening over here. And then you've got Socii Extraordinari, alright. So let's compare them to the Socii Hastati. It's just a straight upgrade on them. What does that mean? Very heavy melee infantry versus medium melee infantry. So medium is a diamond. Very heavy is a square. Praetorian Guard, very heavy. And look at this. From Praetorians to Praetorian Guard, 5 armor difference. It costs 20 more and you get 5 armor more. Why do we have to deal with this? Eagle cohort. Armored legionaries, this is interesting. So they have 95 armor. So in this game, armor doesn't actually cap at 100. At least I know it didn't in the past, because you used to be able to see it go way up above 100 when you used testudo. I wonder if I can find the right cataphracts. It's been so long that I don't know. Armor 90. So, no wait, what the... Royal cataphracts, armor 110. Yep, see? So, this... It's not significant. It's not like it gets really, really close to 100. It's so close now that the unit basically has 100% immunity. It's not like that at all. It's just an additional 5 on top of 85, so it has another 1/17th added on from... Wait a minute. Another 1/18th added on from Eagle Cohort. From Praetorian Guard. So that's the most elite Roman infantry, the highest tier legionary, and then armoured legionnaires barely beat them out on armour by 5 more, but it's not significant. So if you were to rely entirely on armour, then you would be getting marginally superior armour at a substantial discount. That's what we're to get from this. So it could work, it's just not... It's not significant enough. Alright, so the units around it... Look at that. Eagle cohort costs the same, but they almost have as much armour. Almost. And then... Look at that. Evocate cohort has 90 armour. So if you pay 40 less, you have 5 less armour. So in terms of armour cost effectiveness, it's not even a clear-cut case for armoured legionaries. That's just how badly this is considered and balanced and thought out. Look at this again. Veteran legionaries, 85 armour for 850 versus 95 armour for 930. So it's not like you're putting all your money into armour and you're getting a really good amount of armour for your money, armour for your buck, because other units do almost as well sometimes, or maybe even do better. 85 for 850. Yeah, it's about the same armour for your money. 850 for 85. 930 for 95, so it's basically the same cost effectiveness for armour. Oh, and then look at this, holy shit. 95 armour on Socii Extraordinarii. They have the 95 armour of Armoured Legionaries, they have it too, but they only have to pay 760. So, if you're thinking, I'm going to get Armoured Legionaries because I want armour, I want as much armour for my money as possible. Nope, absolutely not. You can get 95 armour from these, or 90 armour from legionary cohorts, or 80 armour for 660. Look at this. It's really silly, man. It's not intuitive. It doesn't... Even learning this is just frustrating. It's frustrating to learn, and then I have the feeling that once I've learned all of these stat variations, these minor stat variations, I won't really be able to do anything with it on the battlefield. Because right now I'm thinking, alright, if I want armour for money, maximum bang for buck, I would spam legionary cohorts and I would get a really high end 90 armour, only 5 behind the highest that's available, and it would be 700. So I could spam legionary cohorts, and these would be 90 armour units, a lot of them. And I don't see the role that armoured legionaries play. They have better melee attack, higher morale. They have a decently higher melee attack and morale, and that's it. Everything else is trivial. Alright, let's look at charge bonus. Gladiators have the highest charge bonus, but it's not high enough. Gladiators have 22, Praetorians have 19. So if you give gladiators a good charge situation, they won't necessarily outperform Praetorians, even. You're basically just putting as much money as possible in to get the highest quality units possible. To have as many high stats together in the same unit as you can. That's how this would go. It's obviously the case that Rome 2 and multiplayer, online, when Roman players are playing against each other, they would just spam Praetorian Guards. Wait a minute. Socii Extraordinarii. Nah, look at that it's just such a... Health is a weird thing. Health. Yeah, everything's about the same. Melee defense now. Gladiators at 60. First cohort at 58. This is the thing, there's not really any standout units. You can't play as the Romans and then from these 14 units think, alright, I want one that has really high morale, because it's just a steady climb up from 40 to 70. There's no outliers. It's just the Skinner boxing. The re-Skinner boxing. But Gladiators are a standout unit, but they've got 120 men, so they're probably not even viable. And they have no armour, which is interesting. That could actually be interesting. So you could have Gladiators and Socii Extraordinari, and then you would have both ends of the armour spectrum, and you would have it reasonably cheaply. Because you could have a unit of Gladiators and a unit of Socii for the cost of Praetorians. So you could get both of these and deploy them in their own rows for the cost of one of these. And maybe that would work. Maybe you could make that do well. But it's really hard to think of actual roles and tactical utilizations of the properties that we have here. Units are not distinguished. They're not really distinct. Like, see all these units here? They're all just clones. And then these units here, these three are just clones. Legionaries, Principes, Legionary Cohorts. They're all the same unit. These are the same unit. And these two are really similar. These units cost exactly the same. Armoured and Eagles cost exactly the same. But the stats do change a lot. And then there's some ability stuff that goes on down there. Formation attack on mana, remember that bullshit? Encourage. The hell is encourage? Morale bonus to nearby allies, so that's what the Eagle's for. But Praetorians have that too. Fucking hell, you're meant to think that they have the Legionary Eagle, but they have it as well. Praetorians have it. Praetorian Guards have it, so they didn't even have the balls to follow through. Fucking hell. So yeah, the last three units have Legionary Eagles. Rome 1 didn't do that. Rome 1 had a Legionary first cohort, and that would inspire units around it, so that would have given you a reason to bring one of these, and that would have made things interesting, because then you have a unit that you're meant to keep in the fight for as long as possible, inspiring all the other units, but you're not, because, well, maybe if you had one of these and then you went with shitty units, so if you stop at Eagle cohorts, have one of them, and then pad out your army with cheaper units like Gladiators and Socii, maybe you could then use the Eagle mechanic, the Encourage mechanic that the game has. But what I think a lot of people are going to do is just fucking spam Praetorians, and these are all going to just have Inspire and Courage, and it'll be pointless. It'll be a redundant system. I wonder if they'll buff one another, inspire one another. Yeah, 14 units here, my god. It's almost as if they have a system in single player where you're constantly just graduating to better and better units. You're just leveling up through the tiers. That's what this is. It's just a level up system, a Skinner box. You level up, you get the better units, and then you just toss out the old ones. They're obsolesced and you just toss them. And I remember that would happen. I remember seeing threads about people talking about how they had, what was it? Legionary cohorts within like 5 turns or 10 turns. Like 14 turns in, they would be able to unlock legionary cohorts and just steamroll. Yeah, I definitely remember that. So that's what the shit is. That's what it is. Alright, let's compare them now. And bring a general. And then... Alright. So let's look at them. 5, 10, 14. And I've got gladiators there as well. What's one of them? Because this is all melee infantry. Sword and shield. Yep, there's the gladiators.
Melee, you're up.
And you can already see the formation is identical. For all of them, the spacing doesn't change. So you don't have Socii Hastati or Hastati that are undisciplined and are not good at keeping rank, which is something that Rome 1 had. There was a disciplined trait that, or highly trained, disciplined, highly trained. Disciplined, I think, was for morale shocks, how quickly morale would change and swing during fights. And then highly trained was the ability of the unit to just keep its shape and hold its line, so it wouldn't let any men slip through. It would retain unit cohesion in the middle of a fight, which is something that people complain about a lot. Unit collision, unit cohesion. Did I hear elephants? What the hell is that noise? I did hear elephants. Alright, so... Armoured legionaries, Lorica segmentata, all the way down to the wrist. Eagle cohorts. So that's the difference between armoured legionaries with their 95 armour and eagle cohorts with their 90. Armoured legionaries have armour even on... Wait, what about the legs? Do they have greaves? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have bronze greaves, whereas eagle cohorts don't have armoured extremities. So, and it's... wait a minute.
Eagle Commander!
Some of them do, some of them don't. Is that the same here? Nah, so there's variation. Some of the armoured legionaries have armoured arms and legs. Evacates.
Romans to a man.
Some of them have a hauberk instead of the lorica.
Melee troops.
First cohort, all looks like chainmail.
Sons of Mars.
Hastati have... what would you even call that? It's like a chest plate hanging from string. So they're modelled differently in game. They're visually represented differently. Legionaries.
Legionaries!
They all have... no wait. Yeah, legionaries have lower armour and it's all chainmail. And then legionary cohorts, some of them have
By your command.
lorica segmentata now. Praetorians, they have the plumed helmet, the red, just like...
Jupiter gives us strength.
just like the legionaries. And these have the feathers. Hastati have feathers. So, armoured legionaries and eagle cohorts don't have the status stuff like the red plume. The Praetorians do. And
Legionary cohort! At your service!
legionaries do. Some of them have a red plume thing. A lot of them have a black one. What is that, feathers? Is that geese feathers or something?
Praetorians! Melee infantry!
And then Principes have the feathered helmets. Some of them have a white plume. And there's a muscle cuirass on the leader. But they all have chainmail hauberks, it looks like.
Praetorians!
Yeah. They have red and white, the Praetorians, and black. Look at that, black as well. So they all have different colours. So say so these all have...
Sucky!
So are they meant to be wealthy? Yeah, Born of Pride, so they're meant to be wealthy, 95 armour, muscle cuirasses of bronze, and they've got everything. It's just assorted shit, so is that what it's meant to be? Higher class, they pay for their position. Look at that there. Weird bronze design. And strange shields as well. So these are not scutums, these are hoplons. What hoplites have. And there's Medusa there. Octopus. Leviathan. Scorpion. Tulip. Trident. Greek tragedy type shit. Dolphin. And then Principes have some red and yellow shields, different colours.
Principes! We await your command!
And they can do an attack into pseudo with those shitty shields.
Form testudo and attack!
I'm gonna hit start and look at that. And then
Hastati!
Sokii Hastati have assorted shields, some of the more rectangular ones that the Extraordinary don't have. Veteran legionaries. So they're meant to be older, but I don't know how being older is represented in the game.
Ready for duty!
I remember noticing they had high melee attack, but yeah, look at that really high melee attack. Charge bonus is not way better though. So they have good armor. Alright, let's have a look at this.
Melee troops!
The eyes of the Senate and all Rome are upon
It's always funny how that guy just runs
We
through,
must make them proud
just
that we are their
glitches
defenders.
through the fucking unit.
More than that, our Roman gods are watching. Make sure.
Yeah.
Eagle cohort!
I don't see battlefield roles emerging from these stats. They all perform the same function. And if you were to come up against a mirror matchup, what would you do? What would you want to do with these units? So you would have armor play a more passive defensive role, of course. So you would have
Romans all!
Evocates,
Melee infantry
Legionaries.
ready. Evocati!
Praetorians are offensive. Socii Extraordinari,
Sucky!
they would be defensive.
Extemplo! Yes, commander!
Veteran legionaries would be defensive. No, they have good attack. They have good attack.
Melee infantry!
See how it's difficult? See when units just increase in quality and there isn't trade-offs? You don't get roles emerging. You get high quality, low quality. You get expendable and valuable to be preserved. You don't get battlefield roles that play into stamina, morale, flanking, positioning matchups. This is the point. This is the cost of Skinnerbox gameplay when units just get better as they become more expensive. They just become almost uniformly improved across all their
Sons of Mars!
There's no actual gameplay happening
General!
when they do that shit. When it's just tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. It's disappointing.
Sons of Mars.
Praetorian Guards, yeah, so
Orders at speed.
this is what you have to do.
Orders.
You have to
Melee infantry
categorize units by offensiveness, defensiveness,
Sons of Mars.
and then try and develop actions around that.
Legionaries. Legio Parati. Waiting.
But I
Brave
don't
Roman
see
commander. Legionaries.
I don't see units that are good for holding the line, really. I don't see units that are good for flanking, getting their pila tossed. I don't see units that move faster, that take less time to flank. I don't see units that have better stamina than others, that do better in a protracted melee. Good, if you had good stamina and high armour, then there you go, you've got a unit for pinning the enemy that you can then just have all your other units work around. But I don't see that here. Like, Socii Extraordinarity.
Astarte.
Where the fuck are they?
Yours to command.
Yeah, so these would be right at the back.
Name of Rome.
They would be the unit that pins. Okay, so let's try that shit.
Serve Rome. Quick,
Let's
march.
try this.
Romans ready for duty. Battle group ready and awaiting orders.
So I'm gonna move everything back.
Orders.
Your orders. Legionary command.
And then units that move fast, so that would be, well, none of them. Units that are more offensive, so that would be...
Melee infantry.
Right, let's find an offensive unit. Let's see if we can find one. Just not an expensive unit, an actually offensive one. Gladiators. Gladiators!
Gladiators.
Oh, I left them over there. Shit.
Service.
Look at them tossing their pila. The hell? So odd. Shield bearers. Is our armor working? Come on, hurry up! Holy shit, hurry up! You're meant to be gladiators, you're meant to have
One of
low
our
armor.
units has used all its ammunition.
Why do I need to know that? That's trivial, shut up. See, this is it. This is the only real roles that I can find.
Melee infantry ready.
These units that have good armor for their cost and can be used defensively,
Gladiators.
and gladiators that have really high attack.
For Rome.
And you have to rely on these properties being rewarded enough for being utilized that it's not easier and more reliable to just spam Praetorians and just brute force through everything.
Quick march.
Come on, charge! Highest charge bonus, highest attack. Let's make it happen, come on. Yeah, right, rubber band then, barely contact then, alright. Yeah, only kill 2 guys on the charge then, yeah.
Sucky.
Why not? Why not? Yep, start dying already after you've killed 4 guys. Yep, lost 3, oh my god. KD 2 then on a flank charge.
Melee infantry
Of course.
at your command.
I shouldn't be surprised.
Commander.
Down.
Or killing spree. Use your unique ability that does what? 46 weapon damage. Amazing, amazing. Yep, that was worth it. That was a good way to expend my attention. Wait a minute, is it going up even more? Maybe then, maybe 53. But it's making us tired. 53, does it go up again? We are pulling decent kills now. 37 for 8. 9 for 38. But our ability's worn off. And we're exhausted. How do you use that ability? It's just so bad. So shitty.
Legionary cohort.
So I found a unit that works defensively because
Melee infantry
because of its high armor for its cost. I found a unit that works defensively because of its high attack for its cost. But all of these units are just fucking roster bloat. Like, fuck's sake.
Hold Roman call.
How can there only be 2 units worth a damn?
Disbanding battle group.
Come on.
Sons of Mars. At speed.
2 units out of 14 that can actually be used in a defined, articulatable way. And because I can articulate it, that means I could conceive of the way it was going to be used as well. And I had a basis for it, and it's worked. So there is actually gameplay going on here. I am making decisions that matter. But for all of these, it's just copy-pastes with stats being shuffled around. Zero-sum additions and subtractions along cost brackets on a continuum of expense. It's just not good gameplay. I'm not even exaggerating, I only really see 2 units there that can be used in ways that I would consider to involve actual thought and gameplay. Yeah, so there is basically 3 units. Socii Extraordinarity, Gladiators, and then everything else here is just 1 unit being reskinned and skinner boxed. And that was all I really wanted to figure out. I knew that before I started, and all I had to do was examine it, because I felt it while I was playing Rome 2 back in 2013, 2014. I felt it. But now that I've actually looked at it and examined these stats, I can see it and see why it is like that. And what difficulty was that on? Normal? Holy crap. That explains why we did well in that charge. Holy crap. Alright, let's try this again then. So, we're gonna have... Let's see if I can do well enough here, right? Let's challenge myself. Funds, medium. Alright, so I'm gonna go with 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, I can only have 3? Alright, so we're gonna go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gladiators and 3 extraordinarity. Nah, that's not good enough. Fuck it, that's what the game insists on. So that's what we're doing. And then Rome again. Whoops. Rome again and just spam Praetorians. And give them one of these as well. Alright, let's see if this works. Very hard difficulty, of course. Nightmare mode? What the fuck? Halloween bullshit? What the fuck? Oh crap. Fuck! Realism, yeah. Yeah, there we go. So they've got 5 Praetorians, one of these. Alright. If we lose this, then the game is just fucking shit. The game is just irredeemably fucking crap if we lose this. I'm not even kidding on. I'm not fucking joking. And this is me doing this. So, you know I'm not fucking joking when I say how shit this game is if I lose this.
Commander! Breaking battle group!
Brave Romans to a man!
Your orders at your command!
Proud Romans all!
Alright, here we go.
We who are about to die!
Salute you!
The eyes of the Senate and all Rome are upon us today.
Keep the general nearby, because that's what they're going to do. Attacking testudo, what the fuck? Guard mode. Killing spree. Yeah, I need to get this flank off. I'm going to be tucked in behind.
We are ready and waiting.
Hurry up, man. Second wind. Target a friendly unit, just one. Battle rhythm. Friendly units. What, in a radius around me? Alright, 6 Praetorians into my 3 95 armors. And then once they're engaged, I'll try and get those flanks off. And if this doesn't work, this game is just fucking retarded. This game is so stupid. And that's a fact. Because we both spent the same amount, and I have spent in a way that's intelligent and that should be rewarded with good play. That is aligned with the properties of these units. Alright.
Melee infantry at your command.
Here we go. They're charging. Yeah, okay.
As you command.
Melee infantry ready.
Nah, don't charge through them. What the hell are you doing, man? Alright, keep them pinned. And pull them out. Look at how blobbed they are, holy crap. Holy shit, they're blobbed. The hell is that blob in action? Look how fast we're dying. Come on. This better work. I'm doing everything right here. Better fucking work. Killing in the melee with these. And yeah, we're in the melee. Yeah, done everything right. We better win this. If we don't win this, this game is just the dumbest shit. My god, look how perfectly this has gone.
General!
This could not have gone any better. No way. No way.
Our general is under attack.
The hell? He charged through my line. Oh, he's dead. Kill him. Where are my kills?
The men are wavering.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Better not be.
Pull back!
Fuck off.
General! Gladiators!
Get in! What you doing, man? Get in the fucking fight! What is this? Get in the fight,
Our
man!
men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
We better win this, I swear to fuck.
Sons of Mars. Succii extraordinari.
We're fucking losing.
Melee troops awaiting orders. Extraordinary. Succii. Succii extraordinary.
I've killed our general as well, like holy crap, the general better be dead. He should not be alive right now. Look at what he did.
Melee infantry!
And of course they have extraordinary here. What? Get them!
Ready and waiting!
Holy shit, they've
We are
got fucking
losing ground.
3 units in the middle still alive, barely fucking touched. This game is so stupid, man. The fucking hit points kept them alive.
Ready!
We got raped.
Your command.
Yeah. Rome 2 is shit. Rome, it just doesn't work properly.
Ready and waiting!
Our
How
men
d-
flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
What do you blame this on? Like, there was literally nothing better I could have done. That was perfectly played. I did everything right. What do you blame this on? Do you blame it on the difficulty? modifiers that just ruin the game,
Withdraw!
as they've just
Our
done?
men flee the field of battle.
Do you blame it
This
on...
is a shameful display.
Do you blame it on gladiators being a meme unit that's just not cost effective, even though it's the only unit that I could find that has any actual offensive role that I can give to it? Do you blame it on...
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Shut up, man! I don't fucking need to know this shit. Do you blame it on... Do you blame it on tier 10 units just being the only way that works when you're playing this game? Tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 being just worthless? How do you actually account for this? Look at those kills! 200 kills, no deaths. How the fuck can that be possible? I had them enveloped. How can they have not lost anything? How can nothing have died when I enveloped every single unit? The Praetorians ran at me in a fucking doubled line, just blobbed. Yeah, Rome 2 is shit. Rome 2 is fucking shit. And hidden difficulty-based combat modifiers are shit. And the inability of CA to actually build meaningful gameplay with units that actually have a reason to exist is shit as well. And I rest my case right there.